Compliments of the season. Did you get all your presents yesterday, or have you got the biggest one of all today?
Yeah, I think Santa saved it for today, and that was capped off a perfect Christmas.
Great start as well, 1-0 up very early on. Lovely ball in. Kedwin 1-0.
Yeah, I think a really bright start, which we've seen we've seen a lot. Really good ball in with with pace and dip on it, and then Kedwin's in the right place where we expected him to be. So brilliant start, and then disappointing to concede so quickly afterwards, but we managed to bounce back immediately again.
I've started to spot when you're a little annoyed. I think it's the first time you've conceded in the first 15 minutes, so I guess you'd have taken it, get to Boxing Day, and the first time you've conceded one as early as that. But it was just a shame they came straight back and got that equaliser.
Yeah, it was a real shame because we controlled the game a lot, and they do have threats, and they're brave because there was two players at the top of the pitch a lot. But yeah, I think it's disappointing when we conceded that goal, and then the rest of the game is pretty good.
It was a cracking first 10 minutes. It's been one of the mysteries so far this season why Kyle hasn't got one, but you were delighted, I'm sure, to see him put that one away.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's, like you said, he's been there so many times, and he's been knocking on the door, and then eventually makes it a brilliantly controlled, actually, because it's not, the ball's very lively in the box, and he steers it in brilliantly.
They actually, to be fair, looked to bottom four side as you cut them apart then for the third and the fourth.
Well, I think that they came with really good intentions, and they tried to spring traps on us and see if they could counter attack, and they were brave enough to try to build up from the back. But I think increasingly as the game went on, it became more and more difficult for them. I think when we get into a good rhythm like that, we're not nice to play against. I don't think they threw the towel in. I really don't. But I think that the guys had very long spells of controlled possession, and that's hard to play against.
Were they what you expected, pretty much?
Yeah, they were full of good players, actually, and of course we know that confidence is a huge thing in football, and it's difficult to build. It's very fragile, and you can lose confidence very, very quickly. And yeah, they're not in a good place at the moment, but they have good players, and I feel like their season could turn very quickly.
I think in commentary, Mark Stollard said Sam Austin was wearing a cloak of invisibility today. They just didn't seem to pick him up at all.
I think this is what we're seeing from Sam more and more. We have Ruben there in a similar position, and I think that his reputation is there, and teams are already concerned about him. But Sam just quietly goes about his business and makes a huge impact on the game.
If you're playing one of the other bottom four sides, I guess in 4 or 5 days' time, I guess it'd be a different challenge. But what extra work have you got over the next few days just to think what David Unsworth's going to do to change it?
Well, I mean, they've had a dress rehearsal, if you like, because they got to see how we play and the key things that we like to do, and potentially they've seen opportunities where they can strike against us. So they will now go away and work on a game plan to try and affect us more. We have to try to make sure that we don't feel like complacent in any way, that the game is going to be easy, because it's not. It's a difficult venue to go to, and I'm sure they'll be well supported like they always are, and they'll be vocal. So if we allow them to get a grip of the game and get a foothold, then it will become a hostile place.
You've got a tried and trusted game plan, though. It's got you to the top of the table.
Yeah, we work a lot on our own game, and we have a very strong idea about what the opposition we think that they're going to do and their key players, and then we have the ability to be able to change within the game, which we've done a lot to change the formation, even if it's slightly make a tweak, but the players are prepared. And so we have to trust that, and moving forward we will trust our own game plan and always be aware of what the opposition have got to hurt us with.
You released a team sheet at 2 o'clock. It won't surprise you to know that the headline news were two that weren't on it: Jim O'Brien and of course Macaulay Langstaff.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Jim because he suffered a injury in training. It's not serious at all, and we think that Jim will be available very, very soon, but he had like a trapped nerve, and it affected him in a bad way for the last 2 days, and so was unavailable. Macca trained with me and a couple of the staff this morning, looked very sharp, but of course we need to be careful when we put Macca in, and you've seen that the team can function very well. Without Macca, we know how important he is, but we have other very, very good players that can come into that position, and you've seen today that Kedwin is hungry and he can score.
He got the service today as well.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on giving centre forwards good service, and we try to bring the ball in from all around the 18-yard box, in swinging and out swinging, crosses and so on. But ultimately, the most difficult bit is converting those crosses, those balls into goals, and Macca have proven that he's elite at that, and we're lucky that we have Kedwin and we have Cairo Mitchell that can pick up the slack.
I don't know if you're the sort of fella that makes New Year's resolutions, but the next time we see you, it'll be 2023. Is there a New Year message for the fans?
No, we want to continue to entertain the fans, and we want to respect the fans by making sure that we work hard and that we realise the position that we have and the club that we work for. We mustn't take that for granted, and we have to go into the new year remembering that.